नमो नमः. आजचे प्रमुख व्याख्याते सम्यक कुशलचे सर्वेसर्वा उदयजी कुमठेकर, अश्विन कुमठेकर, सपना सगळ्यांचं पुन्हा एकदा या मंचावरती स्वागत करते. आचार्यांच्या चरणी वंदन सादर करते. श्रुती स्मृती पुराणानां आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शंकरं लोकशंकरं शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्य कृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः. भगवान परमपूज्य आद्य शंकराचार्य यांची जयंती ते समाधी या एकूण 10-11 दिवसांच्या कालावधीमध्ये गेल्या 5 वर्षापासून आपण अद्वैत महोत्सव साजरा करतो. आचार्यांच्या अनेक रचना आणि या सृष्टीतले नियम व्यवहार यांची काही सांगड घालता येते का? आपल्या जगण्याचा मार्ग दाखवणारे तो कसा असावा याची निश्चिती करण्यासाठी आपण कोणत्या पद्धतीनं वागलं पाहिजे आणि त्याचबरोबर सगळ्यात महत्वाची गोष्ट की हिंदू धर्माची पुनर्स्थापना करणं, त्या तत्वांचा पुनरुच्चार करणं, नव्हे मन आणि मनगट या सगळ्यांच्या मध्ये, भारतीयांच्या मध्ये, हिंदू धर्मियांच्या मध्ये बळ भरण्याचं काम आचार्यांनी केलं. गेल्या 3 दिवसापासून आपण जी युद्धजन्य परिस्थिती अनुभवतो आहोत ती खरंच दारुण आहे, वाईट वाटणारी आहे, खंत देणारी आहे की एखादा घातक विचार असलेला, विघातक विचार असलेला धर्म हिंदू धर्मियांच्यावरती अत्याचार करतो, आघात करतो आणि आम्ही हिंदू म्हणून मारले जातो. ही खरं तर फार वाईट गोष्ट आहे. आणि याच एका तत्वाला धरून, याच एका विचारानं मला पुन्हा वाटतं की आचार्यांनी पुन्हा जन्म घ्यावा. आचार्य यांच्या जीवनाचा सूर्य मावळला तत्क्षणी कदाचित पुन्हा जन्माला येण्यासाठीच आचार्य मावळले असावेत आणि तो पुन्हा सूर्य जन्माला येण्याची वेळ आज आली आहे असं मला वाटतं. हिंदू धर्माच्या तत्वांची पुनर्स्थापना करण्यासाठी आचार मार्ग, विचार मार्ग, उपासना मार्ग हे वेगवेगळ्या उपासना साधकांना, उपासकांना वेगवेगळ्या स्तरावरच्या आचार्यांनी आम्हाला दिले आणि याच त्यांच्या ग्रंथरचनांच्या एका भागाचा विचार आपण यावर्षी करतो आहोत. तत्वज्ञानाच्या वेगळ्या पद्धतीनं सगुण रूपाचं दर्शन हे सामान्य भक्ताला आवडणारं असतं. त्याची आर्तता, पूजोपचाराची पद्धत, त्याची भाविकता ही मोठी असते आणि त्यांच्यासाठी म्हणून आचार्यांनी विविध प्रकारच्या स्तोत्रांची रचना केली आणि त्या स्तोत्रांचा विचार आपण यावर्षी करतो आहोत. आज अत्यंत विद्वान असे आचार्य आपल्यामध्ये उपस्थित आहेत. ज्या स्तोत्रावरती ते भाष्य करणार आहेत मी त्याची काही चरण म्हणणार आहे, कारण स्तोत्र खूप मोठं आहे. शिवानंदलहरी हे 100 चरणांचं, 100 श्लोकांचं स्तोत्र आहे. 10-5 आपण त्यातले श्लोक घेऊया. कलाभ्याम चूडालंकृत शशिकलाभ्याम निजतप फलाभ्याम भक्तेषु प्रकटित फलाभ्याम भवतु मे शिवाभ्यामस्तोक त्रिभुवन शिवाभ्याम हृदि पुनः भवाभ्यामानंद स्फुरद भुवाभ्याम नतिरियम गलंती शंभो त्वच्चरित सरित किल्बिषरजो दलंती धीकुल्या सरणीषु पतंती दिशंती संसार भ्रमण परितापोप शमनम वसंती मच्चेदो हृदभुवि शिवानंदलहरी त्रयीवेद्यं हृद्यं त्रिपुरहरमाद्यं त्रिनयनं जटाभारोदारं चलदुरगहारं मृगधरं महादेवं देवं मयि सदयभावं पशुपतिं चिदालम्बं साम्बं शिवमतिविडम्बं हृदि भजे। सहस्रं वर्तन्ते जगति विबुधाः क्षुद्रफलदा न मन्ये स्वप्ने वा तदनुसरणं तत्कृतफलम् हरिब्रह्मादीनामपि निकटभाजाम सुलभम् चिरं याचे शम्भो शिव तव पदाम्भोज भजनम् स्मृतौ शास्त्रे वैद्ये शकुनक वितागान फणितौ पुराणे मन्त्रे वा स्तुतिनटन हास्येष्व चतुरा कथं राज्ञां प्रीतिर्भवति मयि कोऽहं पशुपते पशुं मा सर्वज्ञ प्रथित कृपया पालय विभो. या स्तोत्राचा शेवट समापन असं होतं. इदन्ते युक्तं वा परमशिवकारुण्य जलधे गतौ तिर्यग्रूपं तव पदशिरोदर्शनधिया हरिब्रह्माणौ तौ दिवि भुवि चरन्तौ श्रमयुतौ कथं शम्भो स्वामिन् कथय मम वेद्योऽसि पुरतः स्तोत्रेणालहं प्रवच्मि न मृषा देवा विरञ्चादय स्तुत्यानां गणना प्रसङ्गसमये त्वामग्रगण्यं विदुः माहात्म्यां ग्रविचारण प्रकरणे धानातुषस्तोमवद् धूत्वा धूतास्त्वां विदुरुत्तमोत्तफलं शम्भो भवत्सेवकः इति श्रीमत् परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्यस्य श्री गोविंद भगवत पूज्य पाद शिष्यान् श्रीमद् शंकर भागवत भगवत कृतौ शिवानंदलहरी संपूर्णमस्तु दिगंबरार्पणमस्तु. आजचे व्याख्याते आदरणीय के गिरीधरन शर्मा. विद्या विनयेन शोभते याचा एकूण दाखला म्हणजे के गिरीधरन शर्मा. अत्यंत विनम्र भावानं त्यांचा परिचय मी जेव्हा विचारला, त्यांचा परिचय त्यांनी पाठवलाय, मी तसाच्या तसा वाचून दाखवणार आहे. अंबा अधिकम मास्तु. Just mention I had studied Shastram under Brahmashri Gauda Shastri. मी आचार्यांना विनंती करते.
हॅलो सर, तुम्ही स्टार्ट करू शकता. गिरीधरन सर.
आचार्य गिरिधरन सर, पुन्हा मी विनंती करेन की आपण आपल्या व्याख्यानाला सुरुवात करावी. नेटवर्कचा प्रॉब्लेम कदाचित आला, त्यामुळे मी बाहेर पडले होते. आपणास विनंती आहे, आपण शिवानंद लहरी स्तोत्रम यावरती आपलं विवेचन आम्हा सर्व रसिक जनांच्या समोर मांडावं.
नमस्सर्वेभ्यः. गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुसाक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्. First, I want to thank Samyak Kushal for conducting this Shankara Jayanti Mahotsava every year, and you have been calling people from various places. It is unfortunate I am not able to speak in your bhasha. Samskrite vaktum shakyate, but for everybody's benefit, I will stick to English. I was asked to speak in English. Even though the divine is such that it transcends our thought, words, and actions, the full might of the glory of Shiva cannot be expressed in any of the words. That is what Acharya concludes in Shivanandlahri, the end. Stotrenalam Vachmi Namrusha iti. But the Sampradayik languages, like any of the Indian languages or Sanskrit, it is based on our Sampradaya, and vocabulary is much more easier to communicate than in English. But English has become the language of what do you call for connection. So I will try to do as much as possible in English, and wherever I find it difficult to express in English, I will try to express in Sanskrit itself. You may find that you will understand that better than some of the concepts explained in English. Amba mentioned in the beginning about the current situation. See, what is needed is this external disturbances, this akarshanam, atankaha. We have a lot of support built to defeat the evil. But the real yuddha is in our heart, in our mind. Every moment there is a battle between, should I do this or should I not? There is a battle between good and the evil. And there we don't have too much of help. But there is one, that is Shiva in the form of Guru. So taking Shiva as Guru and taking that help, how do we lead a life and we still win the battle? So what is the battle we have to win? This eternal samsara, which always pushes us down towards fleeting joy and perpetual sorrow. And for that, we need weapons, and these are sattvic weapons in the form of stotra. That is what Acharya has given. In the introduction, it was very nicely put. Achara Paddhati, Stotra Paddhati, Vichara Paddhati. So Stotra Paddhati, Achara Paddhati has its own challenges in the modern days. Vichara Paddhati needs a lot of discipline, and you need to be with a guru for several years to understand the basic text and lead a life of austerity to do vichara. Vichara is not something where 2-3 people sit together and then discuss or debate something. Vichara Paddhati is very, very exalted one, very difficult one. Stotra Paddhati is what? most of us can relate to. We don't have to forcefully remove ourselves from our activities and still do the Shivarpanam of our life. And so this year I see many Vyakyanakaras have talked about various stotras. Rama Bhujangam, Devi Aparada Kshamapana Stotra, they were all dealt very nicely. She was talking about Vinaya and all. What I'm going to say may be a little bit contradictory. I'm talking from the experience of someone, or I would put it this way, with the strength of my Guru, I make this statement. I have read through all of Bhagavad work many times, and the Stotra Parayanam I have been continuously doing for several years. And there is joy and uniqueness in several of the stotras. Bhagavad language or his way of explanation, it is very, very structured. It is mathematical or scientific, as moderners would like to call it. He will not repeat many things. If there is repetition, there will be a reason for repetition. He will explain in the most briefest possible way. There is no wastage of words. Bhashyam Prasanna Gambhiram. So the Vyakyanakaras of Bhashyam, like the great Vachaspati Mishra or Padmapadacharya, they write Bhashyam as Prasanna Gambhiram. It is Prasanna. Prasannata is clarity, very simple, and Gambhira, it is very profound. You have to read multiple times to understand the meaning. Such an Acharya, when he comes to the Stotra domain, is a poet par excellence. That is what you all would have seen the last few days, and you're going to continue to see that. Not only that, even in poetry, there is a structure. If you take Rama Bhujanga Stotram or Subramanya Bhujanga Stotram, you have a very clear structure of first talk about the Saguna aspect or Nirguna aspect, and then you talk about the Bhakti, and you talk about the benefits of Bhakti and how we attain that, and different Bhaktas, and there is a continuity, there is a structure to it. Take Saundarya Lahari, the most popular stotra of Bhagavad. The first of deals with all the yantras and mantra. And the second part does the Keshadi Padanta Varnanam of Devi. So there is no ambiguity in what he is going to tell. So it is very structured and methodical poetical work. And Shivanandlahri is one exception. You will not find any other work comparable to Shivanandlahri in Acharya's compositions, or I would say any other poet. Because when you sit and try to compose a poem, what happens is you think about it and then you refine and you add another thought, there is a continuity in this. If you see Shivanandlahri, it is more of spontaneity. And there is no connection between many of the shlokas. Is it a weakness? No. Because when it comes to Shivanandlahri, Acharya did not see himself as a composer or an author. He is not here to give us an advice. Some of the verses he addresses the mind. Some of the verses he addresses Swami. He praises. In some of the verses he is just lamenting about the weakness of the human mind or the senses, etc. So it is more of a random thought. So is Acharya so weak? No. He has come down to our level and still maintains connection to his level. If I have to invoke a great Acharya like Bhagavad in my mind, and if I try to talk to Parameshwara, how will I do that? So that is the kind of experimental structure is what you would say in Shivanandlahri. If Alankarikas are there, they will know more about it in the structural aspect of the stotra. So not having a consistent structure itself is a beauty in this. Like you see in paintings, there are certain types, and then you have this modern art. It has its own beauty and appreciation. So Shivanandlahri is more like that. And I will start with 54. Why I'll tell you. Sandhya Gharma Dinatyayah Harikaraghata Prabhutanaka Dvanah Varidagarjitam Divishadam Drishtichata Chanchala Bhaktanam Paritosha Bashta Vitatihi Vrishtir Mayuri Shiva Yasmin Ujjala Tandavam Vijayate Tam Neelakantam Bhaje. There is a simile between Parameshwara and the peacock. Sandhya Dharma Dinatyayah. It is the end of the day. So Sandhya Kalam. Harikaraghata Prabhutanaka Dvanaha. So what happens is in the evening, Mahavishnu plays Mridangam. Aghata Prabhutanaka Dvanaha. Varida Garjitam. This clouds that Mahavishnu's Mridanga is like clouds pounding the thunders. Divishadan Drishtik Chata Chanchala. Devas come and say, okay, why is he suddenly playing Mridangam? They come and see the vision, the eye, that looks like lightning. The sight looks like lightning. Bhaktanam Paritosha Bashpa Vitatihi. And there is outpouring of joyful tears from the devotees. That is like rain. Bashpa Vitati. Vrishti. Mayuri Shiva. Shiva is the Mayuri. Shiva Amba is the Mayuri. Yasmin Ujjala Tandavam Vijayate. And with that, Parameshwara is dancing. The Sandhya Natanam is there. That. So why I start with that is today's Pradosha Kalaha. Visheshatah Stiravasare Pradosha. Atra Deshe Saturday Pradosham is considered to be very, very important here. And we start this Parameshwara Chintanam with that Sandhya Kala Natanam. The significance of Pradosha is this is the time Parameshwara dances. And let us start with his dance. See, if it is a small stotra, like 5, 10, 15, we can go line by line and explain what is given, what is important, and what is the beauty of each verse. You have 100 here. Even if I take 1 minute per stotra, which is very, very unfair, in 1 minute you cannot do any justice to it. It's going to take a lot of time. So it is very difficult for me to pick one verse and leave another verse. Because everything, even though I said it is not connected, that is the problem. If they are all connected, I will say I'll take one. And similar to this, there are next 4, 5 verses, and then similar to this. So I can pick 1 or 2, 3, and then explain. But each of them has its own beauty and the ideas conveyed. So I will go a little bit here and there. The key takeaway would be to see how we incorporate Shivanandlahri verses in our life. First, let's start with the thought of Sandhya Natanam in our mind. Let's go to the second one. What is second one? Why is it called Shivanandlahri? Shivaha, Shivasya Anandaha, Shivanandaha. The Ananda of Shiva. That is one way. Or Shiva Eva Anandaha. The joy what we feel is Shiva Swarupa. Shiva Eva Ananda Shivanandaha. There's a Lahari. That's like wave. Ajaya has written Shivanandlahri, Saundarya Anandalahri, another stotra Namba, and Brahmanandalahri, Jivan Muktanandalahri. There are Many Lahari Stotrams he has written. He is very fond of that kind of composition because when you say wave, you don't have to, you get certain freedom because wave comes, we know what wave does. Wave comes as a flow and this, and everything is Anandalahari. So Shivanandalahari gives the reader the joy of Shiva. Galanti Shambho Charita Sarita Kilbisharajo Dalanti Digulya Saranishu Patanti Vijayata Shambho Charita Sarita Galanti. So where does this Shivananda Lahari comes from? It comes from Charita Sarita. Parameshwara Charitam is the ocean. There is no limit, no end to his Leela. There are several incidences, several aspects from which we can take, and from there, from that ocean-like water body lake, there is a small outflow that is coming. There's a small stream of water coming. Galanti Shambho Charita Sarita. What is that stream? Kilbisha Rajavat Galanti. It eliminates our kilbisham. Kilbisham is papam. It eliminates our papam. Dikalya Saranishu Patanti. It comes into our mind, our thought. The Kulya. Kulya is the canal. From the major stream, the water gets flown into this our mind. So, which means we have to keep contemplating over this again and again. Patanti, Vijayata, Dishanti. So, what does it do? Samsara, Brahmana, Paritapopashamanam. It's obvious. The Samsara Brahmanam, whatever the difficulties we face, this is Upashamanam Dishanti. It gives us a respite from the heat of Samsara Brahmanam. The water gives us a respite from this. Vasanti Macheto Hradabhuvi. From there it comes and resides in my heart. Cheto Hradabhuvi. In my chetas, in my intellect, in my mind. Shivananda Lahari. There is a wave of Shivananda in my heart that has come from Sarita Sarita, Charita Sarita. So we think, visualize, internalize, and assimilate the beauty of Shivananda. That is why the stotra has its name. Sorry. Triye Vedyam Hridyam Tripura. This is another important verse. This is something where if you memorize this, you can use this as a dhyana shlokam in many places. Triye Vedyam is known by Vedas. Triye is Veda. Hridyam. Sorry. There will be some interruptions. I'm not. I couldn't get rid of this cough in time. So Hridyam. Hridyam. Hrid is heart. The word heart came from the word Hrid. Hridyam. It is appealing to us. Tripuraharam. You know that. Adyam is the foremost among the beings. Trinayanam. Jatabharodaram. This Jatabhara is very, very famous. Udaram Jatabhara. Chalat Uragaharam. Uraga is snakes. That is the Abharanam he wears. Mrigadharam. He has the Mriga or the deer in his hands as an ornament. Mahadevam. Devam is Mahadeva. He is Prakasha Swarupam Devam. He is so great. But what is of importance to me is Mayi Sadayabhava. He has even though he created the whole world, everything, he's not like a president or prime minister who supervises at the top level. Mayi Sadayabhavan. He personally knows me. Sadayabhavan. He has compassion towards me. That is the important belief we should have towards Swami. A lot of us think when we say God somewhere up, somewhere far away, it is not so. He is in our heart and it is very personal to us. He may have any number of things to do. That is of no concern to us. He may have whole universe to create, maintain, and destroy. I don't care about that. He is my God. He has to take care of me. Mayi Sadhya Bhavam. Acharya gives us that assurance. Pashupati, why? He is Pashupati. I am like a Pashu. He is Pashupati. Chidalambam Sambam Shivam Ativadambam Pradibhaje. That kind of Shiva is what I am meditating on. So that's why I said it is important to memorize this and use this as a Dhyana Shloka for Shiva. Then you have, so why is Shiva so great? Sahasram Mattante Jagati Vibudaha. There are so many gods. In English, Deva is translated as gods. That's the problem with English or the initial translator. You have 33 crore devatas is what we say in our language. It's 33 crore gods. And then they abuse us. The others, people from other religion abuse us. You have so many gods. Who will come and protect you? There's a lot of jokes going on. It is not problem with our system. Unfortunately, we also don't know about it. We try to take our knowledge from the other system or what others teach us. Deva is a celestial being. That is how it should be translated. Ego Deva Sarvabhuteshu Gudaha is what Upanishads say. We also say there is only one God, but he takes many forms. So we don't have to get disillusioned or distracted by the fact that there are different names for a God. So Sahasram Martante Jagati Vibudaha, there are so many celestial beings who are ready to do the job, who are superior powers than us, who can protect us, who can do good for us. Namanyeham nas manye supneva tadanusaranam. Even in dream, I don't want to go after them. Haribrahmadinam api nikatabhajam asulabham. Someone who is Hari and Brahma are very close to Shiva, but for them also it is very difficult to reach him. We know the story where Brahma and Hari wanted to know the start and end of Shiva. They took the form of a swan and a pig, boar. One went up, another went down. They never found the end. The Jyoti Swarupam, they were never able to find the limit for it, let's say. Haribrahmadinamapi Nikadabhajam Asulabham Chiram Yache Shambho Shiva Tava Padam Boja Bhajanam. To that Shiva, I go and ask for Padam Boja Bhajanam Yache. So what do we pray to Shiva? We don't pray for material wealth or we don't pray for uh, health or give me this, give me that. Tava Padam Boja Bhajanam Yache. I pray to you to give devotion to you. There is another, this explains a very subtle concept. We do use the words interchangeably, worship and prayer. These are two words in English. In bhajanam, bhakti, it is worship. It is knowing the greatness of the divine and understanding our limitation. That is also important. That is divine, and we have certain, which is limitless, and we are ordinary jiva, and we have certain limitations, several limitations, and we surrender to the divine. So that is bhajanam, that is namaskara, that is bhakti, and that's how stotra comes. And specifically asking for something, dhanam dehi, putram dehi, dhanyam dehi. So specifically asking for something, that is yachana. That is also done. Chiram yache, he is asking. No? That is prayer. The other one, what I told initially, is worship. Usually we confuse between worship and prayer. Every day I do morning prayers. Others do morning prayers. We don't do morning prayers. We do worship. Prayers are done only when there is a specific need or want. We don't do prayers every day. We worship every day. So we have to be clear about how we approach God. Then, but to approach, to do this bhajanam bhakti, what is the qualification we need? The first qualification is to know that we are not qualified to worship Shiva. That's the only qualification you need. If you think you have this and that, so I am so great, so-and-so has given me that mantra, I am so pure in my achara, I am so great, I have studied this many books. Then I can do Shiva Pujanam. No. What you need to have is to understand our limitation. Smrito Shastre Vaidye Shakuna Kavita Gana Panitau Purane Mantre Va Stuti Natana Hasyeshu Achutaraha Katam Pragyam Pritir Bhavati Mai Goham Pashupati. So Acharya, so there are many in every field of study or art or talent which fetches appreciation in the world. I don't have any such talent. In Acharya Stuti itself, we see this one. Viditana Maya Vishadaika Kala Nachakinchana Kanchana Masti Guru. So I don't have any of this talent. Katam Pragyam Pritar Bhavati. How will I survive in this world? Mayi Koham Pashupate. Pashummam Sarvagya Pratita Kripya Palayuga. But you are the Pashupati. I am like a Pashu. But in Sanskritam, when you say someone is Pashu, there is no samskara, he is unrefined. That's what the word Pashu means. I have no refinement. What am I supposed to do? So you take care of me. That surrender. So do I mean to say that then all this Shastra, Upasana, Bhakti, everything is a waste? No. They are also a form of worship of Shiva. But when you do that, let's not get into the arrogance. Because if you keep on saying I am useless and I'll be like this, I'll be like this, it will be reinforcement. We have to study Vedas, we have to study Shastra, we have to do Vichara, we have to do Abhyasa, Yoga, Mantra, everything is needed. Everything is needed. That's why our elders have given us that many tools to achieve the divine. They are all needed. But just because we have a limited set of tools which others don't seem to possess, we should not get into the arrogance. Gatova Mritpindo Pyanurupacha Dhomo Rachalaha. This is very famous in Shivanandlahri. Those who don't have the patience or the strength for the intellectual pursuit, they always quote this, was saying that Acharya himself says Tarka is useless. He didn't mean it that way. I'll explain. Gatova Mritpindo Pyanurupacha Dhomo Rachalaha. Patova Tanturva Pariharati Kim Gora Shamanam. What it means is in Tarka Shastra, there is a debate between when you take an object like a gata in a pot. So is the pot same as the clay or the pot different from clay? If the pot is same as clay, then you can't put water in clay, meaning you can't use clay to carry water, or you can't take a pot and make another pot out of it. See, when you say clay, from clay you can create a pot. In a pot, you can carry water. So those are two distinct objects. When I say, okay, they are two different objects, then I say, okay, I'll keep the clay, or you keep the clay, give me the pot. So I have to, when they say two distinct objects, I should be able to separate them, like pen and paper. So there is a debate whether it is same or different, and there is a lot of, that's how they sharpen the intellect. Gatovan, Pratpindo, Anurapita, Dhumo, Agnihi, Achalaha, Parvato, Vaniman, Dhuma. So there is fire in the mountain. Even though I didn't see it, I see smoke. There can never be a smoke without the fire. Since there is smoke, there is fire. So that kind of this Anumana Prayogam is done. So that is where the Tarka Shastra comes in. It gives us methods to infer that we cannot normally see and get it. Patova, Tanturva, Pariharati Kim. Okay, you keep doing that. What is the point? Acharya asked. Urda Kantakshobam Mahasi. Just your throat gets dry. Tarasa Tarkavachasa. Padambojam Shambor Baja. Shambor Padambojam Baja. Just call it a sweet. Paramasaukyam Rajasudhi. So all the intellectual pursuit we have to start, and the end of the intellectual or the final purpose of the intellectual pursuit is to arrive at his feet. Manaste Padabje Nivasutu Vachastotra Panito. And this is another important verse. Manaste padabje. My mind is in your. See, if you have seen so far, and watch carefully from now on, some of them are addressed in third person. Traivedyam, Hridyam, Tripuraharamadhyam, like that. And such Shiva, I do bhaje, Hridi bhaje, I do this. And then some are like a statement of facts. And here it is directly addressing Parameshwara. Manaste padabje. My mind is in your feet. Devasadu. Vachaha stotra panito. Let me always speak about your greatness. Karocha abhyarchayam. I will always do archana for you or puja for you. Shrutiripi katha karna nevido. Let my ears always be listening to your greatness. Bhatram karne vishrunuyama deva. That's what you say. Tavadhyane buddhi. Let my mind or my buddhi always settle on your form. Nayana yugalam murti vibhave. Let me always see your murti. Paragrantan kairva parameshava jane paramata. If I, all the instruments by which I learn something, if I submit to you, how will I learn anything else? So that is the state. Till we achieve that state, we have to be doing this vicharamadhya. But when we come closer to the divine, when we have this bhakti, when we are able to separate ourselves from the rest of the world, paragrantan kairva parameshwara jnane paramataha. Jnane paramataha. So how will I learn anything else if I put my mind, I put all my instruments on you? In the ninth, Gavire Kasare, Vishati Vijane Ghora Vipine, Vishale Shaile cha Brahmati Kusumartam Jadamati, Samarpekam Cheta Sarajadam Umana Kabavate, Sukena Vastatam Janagana Janati Kimaho. I'll give you a summary. So for Shiva Puja, we go to, when we need to do some action, not only Shiva Puja, anything, when we need to do some action, we need material to do that. Cooking, take anything, we need material to do that. Likewise, for Shiva Puja, you need this kind of flowers, you need that, you need Bilva Patra, and you need turmeric, you need Chandanam. So there is a lot of effort in collecting all this material, but and there is a lot of pride in that. I did this many, I did that much, and so the way people decorate that puja graham, all this out of love and affection, there is no doubt about that. But if it is done for showcase, okay, my puja is bigger than yours. I have got the biggest puja graha in this place, and I always use 16 types of flowers, and I always pick my own. So people talk about that, maybe out of devotion, maybe out of arrogance. See, when we try to do all this repeatedly, what I keep saying based on this is that arrogance should not be there. Gabire, Kasare, Vishati Vijane, Gora Vipine. Go to forest to pick one unique flower for Shiva. Why all this? Something Chetas Sarasajam in your mind, our mind, that is Chetahar, that is Sarasujam, that is the lotus which is our mind. Just offer that one flower, offer our mind, that one flower is enough for him. Sukena avastatam janagana janati kimaho. So finally, what is needed is you do everything, but if you don't offer your mind, then everything else is a waste. If you offer your mind and don't do anything else, again that is fine. So not offering the mind is the main problem here. So the best flower you can offer to him is your mind. Then there's another doubt we would have. Am I qualified to do this? Can I do this? Can I do that? You see someone else doing some mantra, some yantra, and we don't have that. Can I go and get that yantra? Can I get Banalingam? Can I have this yantra? We all have yeah, a false sense of inferiority or superiority on how to worship God. Okay, if had I been like this, I would have done differently. And if I am not rich enough to go and do this every day. So we put our own limitations. The next three verses, Acharya says, Naratvam, Devatvam, Nagavana Mrigatvam, Mashakata. Even if it is a mosquito, Pashutvam, Keetatvam, an insect, Bhavatu, Vihagat Vadi Jananam. Let the Jananam, the birth be anything. Sada Tut Padabja Smarana Paramananda Lahari Vihara Saktam Ched. Hridayam here. If my mind is fixed in your Padabja Smaranam, if I am able to do that, whatever be the birth, I really don't care about it. So we don't have to assess. See, there is a reason for which we are born like what we are today. That is our karma. Given our good and bad karma, mix of it, Bhagavan himself has decided this is the best birth for me. So there is no point in fighting that notion. So what we have to do is, okay, this is the best place for me. He has given. Sitting here, what can I do? Sada Tatvat Padabja Smarana Paramananda Lahari Vihara Sattam Ched Hridayam Kim Tena Vapusha. See, what are you going to do? To do dhyana or meditation on Shiva, what do you need? You need a clean mind. So who cares about the body? Kim Tena Vapusha. It can be a tiger, it can be any other animal, it can be Deva, it can be a Gandharva, it can be Rakshasa, it can be a man. Whatever it be, Kim Tena Vapusha. So we don't have to be assessing ourselves constantly and saying that I'm not like this, I'm not like this, so I won't be able to do that. Similarly, Vaturva, Gehiva, Itaripi, Jativa, Taditara. I'm a brahmachari, I'm a grihastha. Don't you know how many responsibilities I have every day? I have to take care of so many people. How do you expect me to do Shivadhyana? So what? Jativa, Taditara. Narova, Yakaschit Bhavatu, Bhavakim, Tena Bhavati. So what? Yadiyam Pratpadmam, Yadi Bhavadidinam Pashupate. Who's Pratpadmam? So, because Swami resides there, our Hridayam is equated to Padma, to a flower. Yadiyam Pratpadmam, Yadi Bhavadidinam Pashupate. If it is surrendered to you, Tadiyas Tvam Shambho Bhavasi. You become his property. Tadiyas Tvam Bhavasi. Bhavabaram Cha Vahasi. You take care of his life. So, all we have to do is invoke, bring in Shiva into our heart. And the same Shiva who is the Sarvadipati of this universe, Bhavabharancha Vahasi, he is going to take care of everything else. What we do is we forget the Shiva inside, we go and try to do everything outside, and then think that okay, I'll finish all this and finally I'll come and do Shiva Dhyana. And that is never going to happen. Because then our worry is who is going to take care of this? Who will take care of my son? Who will take care of my daughter? Who will take care of my parents? I have a job to do. I have to get monthly salaries. How will take care of who will take care of my society? I am the only one who is guiding all these people. So we all have so many thoughts in our mind that we are doing everything. And because we do all that, we forget him. And but he is not going to forget us. If we understand he is the one who is actually doing all and invoke him in our mind, in our heart, he is going to take care of everything. Whatever Gehiva, Itariva, Jativa, Teditarova, Tadiyastvam Shambho Bhavasi Bhavabaram Cha Vahasi. This itself can be taken as a mantra. Tadiyastvam Shambho Bhavasi Bhavabaram Cha Vahasi. So that gives the confidence which not many will give. Guhayam, so okay, now where? I am in a hostel, I don't have a clean place to sit. There will always be noisy. Okay, I have home, but then there are people coming and going. I can't do this. I cannot go to the temple. When I go to the temple, 10 people do 10 things which distracts me. Guhayam Geheva Bahirivi Vaneva Adrishikare Jaleva Vanova Vasutu Vasade Kimbadapalam. So wherever you lay, how does it matter? Yadi yes Sada Yasiva Antakaranam Api Shambho Tava Pade Sthitam Chet. If our mind resides in this feet, There is nothing else. Sacha Parama Yogi, Sacha Sukhi. That is what yoga is. If we try to control the whole environment around us without controlling our own mind, which is the only thing that is needed, the only control that is needed is controlling our mind, not the environment. Because Shiva created this environment. He knows what is best for everybody else. He is looking after everyone. So he says, this is how the world should be, this is how this city should be, this is how this house should be. He is going to the micro detail. Let him do his whatever he is supposed to do. The only thing he has not touched is touched your heart. He has given you that freedom. That free will is given. So you take care of only that. If we control only our mind and let go of trying to control everything else, life becomes easy. Life is difficult mainly because we do not want to control that one thing that we can and we should control. And we try to control everything else that we should not and cannot control. That's where the conflict comes. So yoga so Sacha Parama Yogi, and not only yogi, Sacha Sukhi. And then 13, Asare Samsare. This is another beautiful verse. Take some time to read this. Here, Tadanya Kovame Trijagati Sharanya Pashupate. That is the most important here. There is nobody other than you. Sharanya. I cannot and do not want to surrender to anyone other than you. That is the most important thought we should be having in our mind. उपेक्षा नो चेत किन्न हरसि भवध्यान विमुखां दुराशा भूयिष्ठां विधिलिपिम् अशक्तो यदि भवान् शिरस्. So then now here Acharya comes into a more confrontational. You see this in Shivanandlahri more than any other verse. Acharya gets into a state where a devotee confronts Ishvara and then debates with him, challenges him, and also have some humorous interchange. Upeksha, so why are you ignoring me? Upeksha no chet kinna harasi bhavat dhyana vimukam. So why are you not eradicating my mind? Or why are you not controlling my mind? Durasha bhulishta vidilipam ashakto yadi bhavan. So this, no, this is your fate. If Swami says that. So what is the fate? That is vidilipi, Brahmalipi we say, no? So Brahma has written something in our head. This is what we are all supposed to face in this lifetime. So do you think you can't change it? Durasha bhuvishtam vidilipim ashakto yadi bhavan. So can you not change that Brahmalipi? Can you not change my fate? Because Shastram says this is your prarabdha karma, avashyam anubhavtavyam kritam karma shubha shubham. That is what the Shastram says. But Shastram is Ishvara Proktam Shastram. And you say that you cannot change it because I did so and so karma. Can you tell me at least when I did this papa karma? You're not going to tell me. I suffer today because I did something. Okay, I agree. When did I know that? When I do an activity which is going to give me sorrow tomorrow, do I know what is the consequence? For a child, the child does not know the consequence of touching a fire. Mother shouts and pulls the child back. Much later in life only, the child accidentally touches fire and then tries to understand what is burning of fire means. But mother doesn't let the child do. But you are not like that. I don't even know what wrong did I do to suffer like this. And now you say that, okay, you say that this Brahma Lipi, Brahma has written in your head that you have done so and so. So you are going to suffer on so many days in this lifetime. But you are ignoring me. Acharya confronts him. Upeksha no chet kinna harasi. Why he has written it like that? How can he change it? Is it so? Shirastad Vaidhatram na nakalu suvrutta pashupate. Brahma had 5 heads. And there is a story. We are not going there. Shiva is the one who plucked his 5th head. He just plucked it like a flower from the plant. So with your nails, you just plucked it. So you are capable of removing Brahma's head itself. Now you say that the Brahma Lipi written on my forehead cannot be changed. Who are you cheating? Why are you cheating me like this? Just admit that you don't care about me. So that's why Acharya challenges, the devotee challenges Swami like that. Virinchit Dirghayur Bhavata Bhavata Tat. Now, you talked about Brahma, right? So the same devotee says, let Brahma live a long life. Why? He made me totally useless. Chatushkam Swaraksham Sakala Bhuvi Dainyam Likitavam. He made me totally incapable of anything. So what is the benefit if I have like this? See, he looked into all my karma. For some reason, he picked only all the bad karma and gave me such a sorrowful and useless life. Okay, let Brahma live long. For such a life, what is the benefit I'm giving? Why should I say that? Why does the devotee thank Brahma for giving such a poor life? Vicharakko va mam vishadakarpaya pati Shiva boho. So why should I worry? Because by definition, you are a Dina Bandhu. So your job is to protect those who are totally weak and incapable. This Brahma has made me very weak and incapable. So it is your job to protect me. That's why he challenges. Virinchit Dirghayu Bhavata Bhavata Tatpara Shira Chatushkam Samraksham Sakala Bhuvi Dainyam Likitavan Vicharak Kova Mam Vishadakripaya Pati Shivate Katacha Vyapara Swayamapicha Dinavana Paraha. So these are the verses. I'm just hinting here. Like I told, for the time we have, you can't go into several aspects of Shivanandlahri. This is one Stotra Kadambam which someone has to spend 2 to 3 years to understand the import, because this does not come with single theme. If I have to tell you about Saundarya Lahari, I can give a 40-minute introduction about Saundarya Lahari and explain from here to here, you have this, from here to here, you have this. Of course, that is much more deeper was only. Still, you get an overall idea. Here, these are the things where you have to understand word by word meaning and then keep the book away and sit and visualize. Shivanand Lahari is more of a natakam than a stotra. You have to visualize each of this verse can be a conversation between a devotee and Parameshwara, can be a devotee to his mind, me talking to my mind, and can be a conversation between Acharya to a disciple. Bhagavad Gita tells us what to do, how to do Shiva Puja, Shiva Dhyana. So each of this is more of a conversation which is crux to the verse. So this Shivananda Lahari can give rise to about 20 to 30 dramas actually. So I feel very, very limited now to give this kind of exposition on Shivananda Lahari. I was even thinking probably I should take only 3 and talk about it. But then I had the fear like there are so many other beautiful places where you don't. So treat this more like a catalog. You say, okay, so and so is there. If this motivates you to read at least 3 or 4 verses in Shivananda Lahiri, that is enough. If I take 20th, Sada Mohat, this is another famous verse. Some of you might have heard it. Here, Acharya equates our mind to a monkey. It's a monkey business, right? It all starts from here. Sada Mohatavyam Charati. So this Moha Atavi is forest. My mind always wanders in this Moha Atavi, the forest of delusion. Yuvatinam Kuchagirav Natati. Asha Shakasu Atati. And it jumps over from one desire to another desire. Like monkey jumps from one branch to another. Asha Shakasu Atati. Jatiti Swairam Abhitaha. So now it comes the funny part. So I have a monkey which I am not able to control, just totally troublesome. What can I do? I have to get rid of that monkey. So I am looking at the road. There is one beggar who is coming. And he's just having a vessel in his hand and keeps asking for Bhavati Bhakshandi. And nobody does give him enough food. Suppose he has this monkey. You can go to a street corner and then he can do this with this monkey that we have seen, right, all over the place. Some of these guys, the beggars, they will have a monkey or something, and the monkey will play some trick, and everyone gives him money, not for him, for the sake of monkey. And that's how he does his Jivana Yatra. We have seen that, right? So now he sees this bhakta who finds the burden of monkey like mine very difficult to bear. Kapalin Bhiksho, he looks at Parameshwara, who is a Kapali, who is a Bhikshu. Parameshwara has a Kapala in his hand. In Chennai, there is a famous temple, Kapalishwara temple. Bhikshu, me hridaya kapim atyanta chapalam. Dridam bhaktya badva. It will run away from you. I will give you this monkey. It will help you, help me also. I can get rid of the monkey. At least you will have something to go and ask for when you beg. But it will run away from you. Dridam bhaktya badva. So give bhakti to this mind and tighten it, hold it in your hand. Dridam bhaktya badva shiva bhavadadinam kuru vibhu. So this is a funny way of somebody, because there are half of the Shivanandlahri is like this. You have to go verse by verse, word by word to really enjoy this. And similarly, in Sri Rudram, among many descriptions of Paramashiva, there is something called Taskarapati. He is the chief of thieves. He is chief of thieves. Why Veda calls him Taskarapati? That's for a different discussion. In Sri Rudra Bhasham, there is a beautiful explanation for that. Anything that is not yours, if I try to take it, I'm a thief, right? Anything that's not yours, if you try to take it, then you are a thief. So, what belongs to us here? We are a Kevala Chaitanya Swarup. There is nothing that is second to us. Ekam eva adviti. So, everything belongs to Maya. And we try to take that. I need this, I need this, I need Ekachame, Swachame, Panchachame, Saptachame. We need everything. So, we are all thieves actually. If we try to grab anything other than the Brahmanandam, we are thieves. And he is Taskarapati for all the jivas. Pralobhadyair Arthaharana Bharatantro Dhanigrihe Praveshodhyuktas San Brahmati Bahuda Taskarapati. My mind is like a thief who is trying to go everywhere and try to take things which is not belonging to it. Hey Parameshwara, you being Taskarapati, take control of my mind. And then Niraparade Kurukrupa, my Niraparade Kurukrupa, make me blemishless. And this is another, like I told initially, there is one for as a Dhyana Shloka. This 24th verse is something it would be very, very good to memorize and keep that as life goal. If you are a Shiva's devotee. Many people say, I am a devotee of Shiva. Okay, and then do what? I go to temple once a week or once a month. I chant Shiva Mahimna once a day or maybe whatever, maybe. Then what? So you do certain acts for God does not make you a devotee. Doing is actually a karma. So doing certain acts is definitely it is beneficial. You get the benefit of doing the uttama karma. So I'm not denying that. But when you say devotee, you should have certain goal. And what is that goal? Kadava Kailase Kanaka Mani Saude Sahaganair Vasan Shambho Ragve Spudagata Mudhanjali Putaha Vibo Samba Swamin Parameshava Pahi Iti Digadan Vidhatruna Kalpan Shanapiva Vineshyami Supataha. This is the goal. When will I achieve that state? That should be your constant hankering. Are we constantly wishing for something in life? Yes. We constantly wish for many, many things that we constantly wish, but the content of the wish is not constant. Understand the difference? We from morning I need this, I need this, then I need this, then I need this. The objects of what our want keeps changing, but there is a consistent need or want in our mind that doesn't keep changing. Because that parama shanti, upashanti, rarely we feel. Because there is a constant hankering. That's what samsara is. But that has to be towards one of the kadava kailase. He describes kailasa. When will I go to kailasa? Sahaganaihi. Kanakamani Sode, Sahaganair Vasan. With the Shivagana, I will be living there. When will I do that? Shambho Radre. In front of Shambhu. Sputa Ghatita Mugdhanjali Putaha. I'll put my hands above my head and worship Shiva. How? Vibho, Samba, Swamin, Paramashiva, chanting out loudly, Pahi iti Nigadan, loudly proclaiming my devotion. What will I do? Vidhatrunam Kalpantas. Brahma Kalpa is such a long period that Kshanamiva Vineshyami. Without counting time, this Brahma Kalpa will be like one Kshanam, one instant, 1 second for me, a fraction of a second for me. When will I achieve that state? If you go to Kailasa, there is no sunrise or sunset. It is beyond all that. So there is no sense of time. There is eternity. There is peace. And there, looking at Swami, along with Shivagana, raising my hands above my head, I have to be constantly worshipping and praying. Shambho pahi iti nigadan kalpan kshanamiva vineshyami sukataha. So this is the state we should be aiming to achieve. Kadava. When will I achieve that state? So this hankering should be there. The more and more we keep chanting this, we internalize this, we memorize this, and we understand this, every other hankering will go away. You can't have two desires at the same instant. You can have multiple desires at multiple instances. But the more and more we have this as our only desire, all other desires will go away. In the same thread, you have few other verses. Karaste Hemadro. This and few other verses. This 27. Karaste Hemadro. Girisha Nikataste Dhanapado Grihaste Sorbujamara Surabu Chintamanigane. Shiraste Shitamsho Charana Yugalaste Kilishube. So whatever I want to give, he has everything. He is the one who created the whole universe. So what will I give him? Kamattam Daseham Bhavatu. Fine, there is only one which you have not taken so far. Mama Manaha. Because that is the one which keeps wandering. If he had already taken it, then I'll always be at Shiva Dhyana Paraha. I am not there. So it means that is the only thing you have not taken. Let me give that to you. So when you go, if someone asks, invites us home or for some function, we'll be breaking our head what gift we should give them, right? So everybody buys a same kind of gift. And so then we think about it, what to give, something unique it should be. Swami has everything. What is the only thing he doesn't have? It is my mind. Let me give. Bhavadartam me manaha. This is 29. This I mentioned earlier. Tvat padambujam archayami paramam tvam chintayam yanvaham tvam isham sharanam vrajami vasasa tvameva yache vibho. Viksham me disha chakshushim sadurnam divyeshchiram prartita shambho lokaguru madiya manasa saukhyopadesham guru. One of the most difficult thing to get in this life is Guru Kripa. It is very easy to achieve many things, but to achieve Guru Kripa, you cannot achieve that with the good deeds of one janma. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyate. So if you have Guru Kripa, if you think you have Guru Kripa, it is extremely important to do Guru Seva. And so this instant, this Aadya Shankara Jayanti, the 10 days we are all celebrating stotras. This is going to give us immense benefit and grounding on Guru Dhyanam, Guru Seva, and Guru Mahatmya. Here, actually, who is Guru? Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma. Here in Shivanandlahri, Acharya does not see him as part of Brahma, Vishnu, the triad, even though he mentions then and there. The Trayivedyam Hridyam, when I mentioned that verse, Acharya has seen Parameshwara as the supreme Brahman, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma. That is what you see here. Tat Padam Bhujam Archayami. Guru Padarchanam Aham Karomi. I am doing this. Paramam Tvam Chintayam Yanvaham. I always do Chintanam about you. Tvam Isham Sharanam Rajami. I surrender to you. Vachasa Twameva Yachayulo. I will not ask anyone else anything. This we should have. See, we are incomplete. We feel we are incomplete. We have needs, we have wants. But we can't keep begging to everybody and everything. There should be only one source that gives the peace. Twameva Yachayulo. Whatever I need, I'll go and ask only Parameshwara. I don't have to go and ask anyone else. Because he is the one, he's Ishvara, Paramaha Ishvara. So even if I have to go and ask from XYZ, where do they get that stuff from? They also get from Ishvara only. So instead of going there and coming, why can't I directly take from the source? So we should have that faith that Guru Parameshwara is the one. Twameva Yachavigo. Vikshame Disha Chakshushi. Chakshushi Vikshame. Just look at me, nothing else. Sagurunam Divye Stiram Pratitam. Shambho Lokaguru. Madiya Manasa Saukyopadesham. Just give me that one Upadesham which gives me Parama Saukyam. So this is another regular prayer which we should incorporate in our life, because that gives us the Guru Kripa. And it is very fortunate to have a Guru. It is very unfortunate to lose a Guru also. When I say lose a Guru, it means we forget what Guru says. Guru is not just a physical person. Guru is giving direction. Guru is giving Saukhyopadesha. Whatever Guru says, we have to strictly follow that. And when we keep chanting his name, we have his photo, if he's physically there, we go do namaskar and we give him a lot of gifts and all that. But we don't follow anything he says. It is as good as we lost the Guru. That is very unfortunate. That should not happen. So, Madiya Manasa Saukhyopadesham Guru. This is Shiva Guru Prarthana is very, very important for a Shiva Bhakta. I will jump to 57 or even 57. We don't have too much time. So, like I told, we can keep talking about it. Nityam Sodara Bhushanaya Sakalan Uddishya Ittashaya Vyaptam Paryatanam Karovi Bhavata Sevam Jane Vigo. This is what most of us do. Nityam Sodara Puranaya. All the activities, what do we do? Just to fill the stomach. Puranaya Sakalan Uddishya Ittashaya. The craving over money, wealth, Vyartham Paryatanam. I am wasting my life. Bhavata Sevam Jane. I don't know about your seva. Even then, I know what I am doing is not right. I also know that what I am supposed to do, I do not do. So there is two things here. I don't do what I am supposed to do. I do what I am not supposed to do. So there is a double mistake here. Even then, Majjanmantara Punyapaka Balataha Tom Sarvantaraha. But for some reason, for some unknown reason, I've done some good deed in my previous life. So what I figured out is, you are there in my heart. Tishtasyevi te rava pashupate te rakshaniyosmyaham. Even though I don't do anything for you or whatever I am supposed to do, for some reason you are sitting in my heart. At least for that you have to protect me. So this is understanding our limitation and praying to him. This is Parameshwara. This explains his Saulabhyam. He is Sulabha. You don't have to have so many qualifications to reach him. That is Saulabhyam. But just because he is Sulabha, he is not simple. See, the path to Parameshwara is simple. He is not simple. This is what I told about Bhashyam also. No? Bhashyam Prasanna Gambhiram. That similar concept Acharya has given to Parameshwara. Parameshwara is the path to him is simple. You just have to cut off all unwanted things. You reach Parameshwara in your heart. That is very simple to explain. But is he a simple person? Eko Varija Bandhavah Kshitirabho Vyaktam Tamo Mandalam Ditva Rochana Gocharopi Bhavati Kim Kutu Surya Prabha is as bright as Koti Surya, crores of suns. I mean, I can't translate all this. It looks very odd. Koti Surya, he's so bright in effulgence. Vedya Kinna Bhavasyaho. Even though you are so bright and so evident, so obvious, Shastram says Sarvagya Sarvavit, also says Suprakasha Atma, and it is in my heart, and still I don't see you. Bhavasyaho Ganataram Kidram Bhaved Mat Tamaha. So how is it? But such a Shiva is covered by some avidya, some ignorance in my heart. So which is more powerful here? Shiva or the avidya? I have given so much importance to that avidya. Even though it is the Shiva is right in my heart, I don't see him. I only work with the objects given by avidya. That sarvam yapadiya me pashupade sakshat prasanno bhava is so deep, so unfathomable. That is why I said Gambhirya. Saulabhyam is there, and here he is talking about his Gambhirya. It is very difficult to fathom or grasp Shiva as it is because we have this avidya imposed on us by ourselves. Ego Varija Bandhava Kshitirabho Vyaktam Tamo Mandam. So now comes these two. If someone says, I read Shivanandlahri, these are the two verses which gives the essence of the bhakti of Parameshwar. These two have to be memorized and understood. If we know these two, then even if you don't know anything else, that's enough. Rodas toya hritash shramena patikah chayam taro vishtitah Bhita Swastagraham Grihasthamatiti Dina Prabhu Dharmikam. 68. Deepam Santamasakulascha Shikinam Shita Vritastam Yatha Chetas Sarva Bhayavaham Rajasukam Shambho Padamboraham. I wish we had more time to explain these things in much more detailed way, but I just give you a hint. The purpose of this exposition is to incite, to kindle some interest, and this will motivate you to read Shivanandlahri in detail, let's say for 1 year. And probably next year, at the same time, you will be in a much better position to talk about Shivanandlahri yourself. Let's see. This Toya Hirtaha, someone who's filling a river stream, and river takes him very far away. He is not able to come out of whatever his swimming talent is useless. So his only focus is how he gets out of that water or how he avoids drowning is Rodaha. By chance, if he gets close to the bank of the river, he can survive. So Rodha means it's the bank of the river. The Toya Hirtaha Yada Rodaha Samvanchati. He keeps looking for the closest bank and tries to jump over there. Shramena Patikaha Chayam Taro Vishtitaha Shramena Patikaha Chayam. Someone, a wayfarer, someone who is traveling on the hot sun, he looks for some shadow to take rest. Taro Vishtitaha Bhitaha Swastagraham. When there is, you also look for some shade or some protection when there is rain. Grihastham Atitihi. There is a Atiti. He looks for a Grihastha who can take care of him for a day. Dina Prabhum Dharmikam. Some incapable person is looking for a Prabhu to give him some money for survival. Deepam Santamasa Kulascha. Santamasa Akulaha. Someone who is afraid of the darkness, how he keeps looking for a Deepam. Shikinam Shita Vrataha. Shiki is fire. Someone who is suffering from cold, he is looking for fire. Tvam Tatha Yatha Evam. Acharya has given so many examples. In each of these cases, the person who fell in the river, who is afraid of drowning, who wants to protect himself, he is looking for the nearest bank to jump over and protect. His constant focus, that time he will not be thinking about anything else. So when you are in a grave danger, at that moment, you will be only trying to look coming out of the danger, nothing else. Likewise, tatha cheta sarva bhayapaham. If our mind sarva bhayapaham, that Shambho Padamborham, the Parameshwara's lotus feet is the only thing that can eradicate all the fears. If with the same fervor, same force, if we try to look for Shiva's feet, we will attain it. See, the bhakti or upasana is not a hobby. You cannot do it part-time. There is no part-time bhakti or part-time karma, part-time upasana. You have to be fully at it. So that is why Acharya has given this, where these are the cases where you are at a grave danger or you are afraid and your mind is completely occupied in finding the solution for your current problem. Only like that, if we think through and find, try to motivate us to find Shiva's feet, we will be reaching him. That is bhakti. Ankolam Vijavija Santatir Ayaskantopalam Suchika Sadvi Naijavigum Lata Chituruham Sindhu Sarit Vallabham Prapnoti Yatha Tata Pashupate Padara Vindadvayam Cheto Vrittir Ubekti Tishti Sada Sa Bhaktirit Vichate. This is the definition for bhakti. Nowhere else you will get such a clear, practical definition for bhakti. There is one tree called Ankola Vriksha. The seed will, so usually the fruit or something falls from the tree and then we take away. Here the seed goes back to the roots. Nijabija Santati, Ayaskantopalam Suchika, where a pin gets attracted to magnet without magnet doing anything. Sadhi Naijavigam, how a wife goes to her husband. Lata Chitiruham, how a creeper climbs the tree without tree doing anything or asking it to come. Sindhu Sarit Vallabham, the ocean is there, rivers naturally flow towards it. Prapnoti Yada. There are two objects here. One attains the second one. The object that is attained is not calling this to come. Like Shiva need not come and call us to, okay, do bhakti to me, I will do this. He doesn't have to do that. He is there. Without that motivation, with our self-propulsion, with our own motivation, if we are able to go and put our mind to his feet, that's sa bhakti chate. Tata Pashupate Padaravindadvayam Cheto Vrittir Ubet Tishtati Sada Sa Bhakti Chate. So that is the definition of bhakti. Then uh, there's one more thing about finally about bhakti. Bhakti is the one which can compensate for every of our weakness. Marga Vartita Paduka Pashupate Rangasya Kurchayate. Pashupate Angasya Kurchaha. There is a famous story about the Kannappa Nayanar in Tamil Nadu. I don't know if it is very popular over there. He is someone he has come from is a hunter family. He was not exposed to traditional form of worship. He goes to one hilltop and he sees someone doing puja for Parameshwara. Due to Purva Samskara, suddenly the Bhakti Avirbhavam comes. He also wants to do the bhakti, do puja for him. And he does puja the way he likes. He saw this man goes and puts food and offering. So he, whatever he eats, like meat and other objects, he gives to Parameshwara. Every day he does. So next day that Pujaka comes and sees the whole place sullied and he is very worried who is doing that. And to show this Kannapa's devotion, he told the Pujaka in his dream, Swami told in his dream, just hide and watch, see how he does the puja. So when he is doing puja, suddenly from the Shivalingam, from the eye, there is a blood oozing out. Kannapa was stunned by that. He got worried that something happened to him. And he did not know what to do. Coming from this hunter background, they have their own way of solving problems. So he thought, okay, this eye is damaged. Swami's eye is damaged. And I have good eye. Then I'll put mine over him. So he takes his weapon, knife, and then cuts off, or arrow, whatever it is, cuts his eye off, and then puts on it. Then the second eye comes in. Then if he cuts off his second eye, he is totally blind. He won't know where to put. So what he does is he puts his feet over Swami's face, where so that he can identify where the eye is, and then he tries to cut out, and that's when Swami comes in. So he doesn't care about, okay, this is Swami, this Pavitram, I should not touch this, I should not do this. Marga Vartita Paduka Pashupate Rangasya Kurchayate. As we do puja, we do kurcha over this kalasa. So likewise, he has put his slippers over Parameshwara. Gandushambu Nishechanam Puriripo Divyabhisha. I can keep telling this story for 15 minutes. We don't have the time. Gandushambu Nishechanam Puriripo Divyabhishekayate. He didn't have vessel to bring water to him. So he filled in his mouth and then he came and spit over Swami to do the Abhishekam. Kinchit Bhakshita Mamsaseshakabalam Navyopaharayate. So when he cooked the meat, he wanted to make sure it is of the right proportion. So he takes a bite and then he gives the Uchishtam to Parameshwara. Bhakti Kinna Karoti. So what is it Bhakti does not do? Vanachara, the hunter, Bhaktavatam Sahiti, he becomes the supreme Bhakta. Margavatita Paduka Pashupate. This is something we should remember. If we have Shiva Bhakti, all our deficiency will be automatically eradicated. That does not mean that we can be incomplete and then we say, I am a Shiva Bhakta and none of this matter. We should not be thinking about us. We should be focusing on the Shiva Bhakti like I told the previous verses. Margavartita Paduka Pashupate Rangasya Kurchayate Gandusham Vishejanam Puravipo Divyabhishekayate Kinchit Bhakshita Mamsa Seshakabalam Navyopaharayate Bhakti Kinna Karotyaho Vanacharo Bhaktavatam Sayate. So we can keep talking about it, but I will stop for now. And I wish and Shambho Loka Guru would do the Prarthana to Shiva Guru, who can do the Saukhyopadesham to us, and we constantly keep him in our thought, and his thought should drive our actions. And for that, we have to be thankful to Bhagavad his Stotram, constantly chanting, that is very important. And with that, I will stop. Namaste.
Thanks, dear sir. So friends, we are here in Advait Utsava, which is organized by Samyak Kushal Pratishthan Nanded. Since last 8 days, different pioneers deliver their valuable lectures on different stotras of Acharya on this 9th day, today we got K. Giridharan Sharma ji, who deliver his lecture on the topic Shivanandlahri Stotram. It's my honor and privilege to express my sincere vote of thanks to Sri Giridharan ji. So, sir, initially in your lecture, you discuss about external disturbance, what we got in our country. So it is a fact, but apart from that, it is also a fact that apart from external disturbance, each and every human being feeling and facing the internal disturbance of mind, the negative mentality of each and everyone. And this lecture based on Shivanandlahri Stotram definitely will found helpful to overcome the negative mentalities of each and every human being. So for that, I want to say thanks to you. So apart from that, in your lectures, you today describes various aspects, qualities, and grace of Lord Shiva. So this lecture will helpful to obtain peace of mind, spiritual progress, and deeper understanding of Shiva Tattva. So I would want to say thanks to you once again and hope the same kind of cooperation in nearest future. So thanks to you, sir. So apart from that, I would want to say thanks to each and every member of Samyak Kushal Pratishthan for helping to conduct this program smoothly. So thanks each and everyone. Thanks, Sirji. So with the prior permission of each and everyone, I would want to say the program is now over. Thanks each and everyone.